do you want to join me on the porch? Cool. Let me grab the instrument of choice. We have a nice wood pipe here. Come on. A bottle. After you. Please, please, take a seat. Let me get a quick fire going. Whew, much better. And now, let us enjoy a little bit of what we are going to be having. This is just a little bit of CBD, something to help us relax a little bit and really enjoy ourselves out here. And appreciate the calm of a nice evening by the fire. So what I have here is a little metal filter. Important to keep your equipment clean, especially with wood. As you'll notice, I kept it inside to avoid having the wood crack or become damaged by the cold outside elements. There we go. If you'd like to join me. For me, a evening by the fire, especially with a friend or a lover, it is more than simply a smoke. It is a time to just be present, to let the worries of the world, of what we can't control, slip away, and to think about merely what we can control, which is the here and the now and ourselves. Forgive me, where are my manners? Would you care? Here you are. So today, I would like to be talking about an ancient text known as the Great Learning, and before we start, I would like to pull up an excerpt of that and read it aloud for us. The ancients who wished to manifest their right excellence into the world would first bring order to their state. Those who wished to bring order to their state would first align their family. Those who wished to align their family would first cultivate their personal life. Those who wished to cultivate their personal life would first rectify their heart-mind. Those who wish to rectify their heart-mind would first make their intentions authentic. Those who wish to make their intentions authentic would first attain the knowledge. The attainment of knowledge consists in the investigation of things, and that, my friend, is where we shall begin. In the investigation of things. To me, the investigation of things is more than academic. and it is more than formal. It is conversations, like our chat right now. It is about the day-to-day understanding of the world, and it is more profoundly about the idea that we should question everything before us. To attain the knowledge of the true nature of things is to come to one's own understanding, and for that we must transcend what we are told by masters above or other ideologues telling us what to think, and rather we can investigate and think for ourselves. Ooh, it's actually getting a bit cold. Let me probably put one of these on. And you may notice my fingers are out. I wouldn't want to burn a glove while I light. When things are investigated, one gains the knowledge. When one gains the knowledge, their intentions become authentic. As an autistic individual, I had to be formally taught the neurotypical rules for socializing. However, in attaining my own knowledge, I find those to be convoluted, contrived, and disingenuous. And so, in setting my intentions authentically, in this process, I decide to avoid dishonesty and avoid disingenuousness. Avoid being ingenuine with the people around me, as I believe this hinders closeness between humans and does nothing for us. In addition, I see setting intentions authentically as, on a grander scale, I have a strong sense of justice. And by obtaining the knowledge, I can begin to set the intention of the kind of person I want to be in the world and the kind of impact I would like to have. When one gains the knowledge, their intentions become authentic. When their intentions are authentic, their heart-mind is rectified. Having set my intentions of the kind of life I wish to lead, the ideologies I stand for, the things I stand against, I can settle my heart-mind on that. No longer am I troubled by a nebulous and tumultuous world where I struggle to find my moral, political, personal, and cosmological place in. Instead, with my intentions set, I can live authentically in a way that frees my heart-mind, frees my soul. And in this sense, I mean that I live unburdened. To live inauthentically would be to burden myself with the lies that I must keep up, to burden myself with the moral ramifications of my actions, but to choose to live authentically can rectify one's heart-mind and one's soul, such that they no longer feel this weight, and instead they are free to have the most positive form of themselves. When their intentions are authentic, the heart-mind is rectified. When the heart-mind is rectified, the personal life starts to be cultivated. More than understanding one's cosmological and moral position in the world, when the heart-mind is rectified and the soul finds its intentions, one can start to grow as a person, and this can mean a lot of things. If you have a logically consistent moral code, which is, to me, a very important part of upholding my ideal position in society, then you can begin to implement that code in your day-to-day life. You can strive to be the best person that you can be, both to the people around you, in your family, in your life, and to strangers on the street. And this is important, as we should all be doing right by each other. And I think in some ways, Confucius may have had it right from the start with his 3 golden rules, which are as follows. He talks, namely, about the negative golden rule. Do not do unto others which you would not have done unto yourself. So, I would not wish for violence upon others, or upon myself, and therefore I aim to do no harm in the world, both to those around me as well as the creatures of the world and the earth itself. We are all on one planet, and we have a duty to take care of it. Second, the positive golden rule. Establish in others what you want to establish in yourself, and help them achieve what you wish to achieve. And this does not translate literally in the sense of, like, if I wish to be an artist, I should help my friend be an artist, even if they don't want to be an artist. But it is more of to help them realize their dreams, and not necessarily expecting that they will realize yours in return, but simply letting that be what it is, and doing it without expectation. And you will find that people will repay the favor. Kindness comes around. The third is the corrective golden rule, which is that when someone does wrong by you, you should neither revenge nor tolerate it, but treat them with justice. Lovingly correct their wrongdoing, but make sure that you are firm enough that they understand what they've done wrong and do not do it again. This is an important tool in the next phase. When their heart-mind is rectified, their personal life begins to cultivate. When the personal life is cultivated, their family starts to be aligned. As a polyamorous queer person, the meaning of family is far removed from how Confucius originally intended it, with a husband, wife, kids, the whole usual biological deal. However, the aim of cultivating oneself and one family is consistent. There is no room for petty revenge in a family, born or chosen. Ideological similarities among partners are important, and family members, each of them must work to rectify their heart, mind, and cultivate their personal life. For how can there be a harmonious family with people who do not share the same values and seek harmony together? And, maintaining healthy relationships with multiple people requires a lot of work in that regard. And, most importantly, authentically good intentions. We cannot seek to control the people in our family or to have our way with them, because otherwise we are falling into strife and power struggles. And there is no harmony in that. When the personal life is cultivated, the family is aligned. When the family is aligned, their community starts to be in order. Originally, the text listed this as a state. However, I am not a statist, and I am not going to talk about so-called justified hierarchies. By aligning a family along the values of liberty, justice, autonomy, mutual care and compassion, and universal love and respect for all under heaven and earth, we aim to spread this impact into our community. And this is what I was talking about earlier, is showing kindness and humaneness to everyday strangers on the street, is helping someone find that credit card that they lost in the gas station, or buying them a slice of pizza when they're strapped for cash. It's small things, but it is showing that you have that compassion for them and cannot see others' plight as merely inevitable, but something that we can work together on. And so, the idea of doing this, it's not about leadership or getting people in order. We don't need to get our communities in order in the sense of telling them what to do, but it's about having genuine intentions and interactions with people. And you know what? Sometimes this will be enough to convince them. The idea of a world free of hierarchy and domination is a lofty goal. It is, some say, utopian. However, even in our present world, full of all of its war, oppression, violence, and strife, we can model humaneness. We can model this mutual care and love, and seek to enlighten people through that way, much like the word ru refers to both soft and soften. Through showing this love, we can soften people. We can help to cultivate their virtues by showing virtue in ourselves. And I think that there is something very distinctly Ruist about that, even removed from the politics of states and hierarchies. Lastly, when the family is aligned, their community starts to be in order. And when their community is in order, there will be peace throughout the world. We do not seek to coerce those who do not wish for a radically egalitarian, profoundly caring, and deeply loving world to exist. To impose that view on others would make us hardly any better than an imperialist or a statist. We seek to build community through showing people individual, ideological, and interpersonal tenets of a world that we would like to see, even in our modern-day world. Simply by acting out these tenets, we can demonstrate that we do not have to confine ourselves to the individualist rat race of our modern world. And I think that Mencius was right when he said that human nature is inherently good. He said that when we see a baby about to fall into a well, it is pure instinct to protect it, and I argue that our instinct to protect goes beyond that, and our instinct to care is one of the things that makes us most profoundly human. And in our modern world, we are surrounded by so much violence, and we are taught to offer the smallest modicum of compassion. And I think that we are getting our humaneness trained out of us in some ways. If one seeks peace in the world, one must start with a community of peace, and that can only exist if there are groups of families who also are trying to make that exist. And those families can only exist if every individual seeks to cultivate themselves along those values of autonomy, justice, egalitarianism, and so on. And so, in a sense, the idea is that the Great Learning was right all along, in that we cannot seek to create a community that can exist in peace and harmony unless we have a group of committed individuals who uphold these values in themselves and in their day-to-day lives. Otherwise, we will just succumb to infighting. If we are to be free of the bonds of hierarchy, of coercion, it's possible, but it's difficult work. And it begins only when each and every person starts with themselves and their intentions. And with that, I think it's getting a bit cold out. I think I'd like to pack it in for the night. So let me quickly turn off the fire. Shut off the gas. quickly. Saving the filter for next time. I don't want to waste it. Now, head in. And now this is perhaps the most important part of our little chat here. Remembering to keep it clean. Because you don't want to create a stench in the house. Simply to have a pipe that is dirty and unsmooth. And so, in keeping with ritual, I'm just going to get a little bit of water here. And just kind of clean this out. Have to keep it looking as new as possible. And last but not least, wrap it up for safekeeping.